Hey, nice to see you out there, beautiful people. Out in the world, yeah, taking care, man, taking care, like my baby tell me to do. You people amaze me, man, because I never been able to do what you do. I've never been able to find my place in this world, man, or feel comfortable in my own skin, even. No, not really. And I've done a lot of stuff wrong. I know I did. Pissed a lot of people off, over and over, when I was younger and older. For a long time, man, I've done stupid shit. I owe a huge apology, man, to society and to many in this city, New York, all over the damn place. I know I do. Seems I've been a wrecking ball of destruction, a troublemaker, supreme. I took on the persona after meeting Justine at Squeezebox, professional troublemaker supreme, way back then in the 90s, man, way back then, when life was a dream, limousines, theater, dinner at midnight. Back then, when I saw visions and they came true, I'd write them down. I'd see them, I'd write them down, they'd happen. Like finding the white dog, mate with Randy, Kevin's dog, Kevin Kendall, with Chris Marcos, Warhol, Randy, the dog, an interview magazine, my dog, Kevin died of AIDS. Said I was going to find the white dog to mate with Randy. Randy's such a special creature. I saw her in a vision. Said I was going to find her. 2 days later, she walking up to me out of the park, just like I said she would. Looking just like I said she would. White dog. She a witch, that dog. Shook. We pair bonded. She had to be with me. After that, had to be with me, or she'd start screaming. I love that dog. She my girl. I was told by voices in my head. They dictated my life, man. These voices and pictures, and it's like a movie inside my psychic center, man. I was told what to do by these voices since I was a kid, man. Since I was a kid, and I heard a lady singing, man. I heard a lady singing, lady singing the blues, and I go weak. Yeah, man. She sounded like Billie Holiday. She told me what to do too. She said, "Meet me in New York. Meet me in New York. I'll be at Bardot. Don't be late." It was a movie inside my psychic center, inside my head. It dictated my every move from the time I was 15 years old. I was reading Ram Dass, Emmanuel, Shakti Gawain, On the Road. It's my favorite book. Jack Kerouac. Sometimes I wish I hadn't met you, Jack, because I'd soon be hitchhiking like you, like a spiritual warrior I became. I had to find my people, man. They were dancing around a pole on a mountaintop. It must be a maypole. They got ribbons, and they're all dancing with ribbons in their hands, going around. And I had no choice, man, and I'm glad I did. I saw them for years like that, right behind my third eye. I had no idea who they were, no idea what they were called, who they were, where they're at. But I was willing to go on the quest. I was told to go. I walked to the edge of town, man, to the highway in Tucson. My mom, she drove me there, and she's crying. And I walked and put my thumb out, man. She watched me earlier that week selling everything I owned, and I told her I gotta head out. Gotta go to the edge of town, put my magic thumb to the test. Man, she didn't understand, but she told me that I acted like the rules did not apply to me, that I'd always had acted like that. She said I'd always been so headstrong, willful. That's why she left with my father when she left. She couldn't handle me, she said. She couldn't handle me, she said. So I must have been bad. I must have been wrong. I was wrong, I guess. I said, great. So you left me with child abusers because I was too much? Because I think the rules don't apply to me, man? They don't, Mom. They never have. They never will. I don't believe in this economy. Man, it's programmed to destroy this environment, man. All this endless shopping, this stuff that people don't need, all this crap from China they're buying, this shoes. Who needs 50 pairs of shoes, man? This society, man, and what they teach us about the world, it's a lie. I can see what's really here. I can see it. It's not just air, it's energy, man. It's energy. Beings that are here, I can talk to them. It's not what they say. And I don't understand why people shop as a pastime, man. I don't know why they're still procreating when the planet's obviously dying, man. When we're in trouble, when we've gone past the tipping point. Everybody knows it, but they're still going on like business as usual, man. Business as usual, making no changes, man. But we need radical changes here. Not gonna happen. People don't care. They'd rather go to the shopping mall, man. Buy shit from China, man. Buy shit they don't need. Pile it up. Stack it up in their apartments, in their houses, man. Man, I learned how to meditate when I was 15, and I knew the world was not what they said it was. That what folks saw, it wasn't true either, man. I intuitively knew that shit, man. I was connected to source. It's in all the literature that I read. It's right there. These principles, these methods. Man, I performed pagan rites passage too. I learned all that. I learned all that in the books I read. Damn it, it's all right there. I knew if I asked the universe to show me what was really there, that it had to be shown to me. That the universe had to show me. This is the way it works, man. You ask the question, and the answer comes. It has to. It's the way it works, man. It's the way it's always been. And I wanted to know the truth, not to live a lie, the way the masses do. I ain't no sheep. I ain't cattle, man. I don't need to be prodded, man. Take me to slaughter. No. So I meditated. Learned how? Sure. Connect myself to source, power, higher power. Yeah. In an Adobe house, man. I rented in Tucson, man. I meditated. I meditated for hours, man. I wanted to see. I wanted to know. I asked the universe to show me the truth. Show me what's really there, man. This was a horrible little hovel of a place that I rented. It barely had running water in the shower. It was not a place that a normal person would rent. See, I had that problem back then. I had the problem I have now back then, man. It's a pattern. It shows up way back then when I'm 18, man. I put my money down on a place that nobody would rent, that it wasn't even worth money. They should have been paying me to be there, man. And it's one of the things I'm looking closely at now while I'm writing this is like, why do I think I don't deserve proper housing, man? Why don't I think I deserve a home? But because I've never had one, because I've never given myself one, and I've had plenty of money, and I always need a man, to make things good for me, to make me whole. I didn't know it then, but the awareness is not in my consciousness, that I was programmed from the abuse that occurred in my childhood, to all the shit that I went through, to believe that I did not deserve a home, man. It's right there in the core of me, this faulty programming, these faulty core values, man. It says I'm homeless because I said it to myself as a kid, man, over and over at night. I said, I don't belong here. I said, I don't belong. I said, I'm not home, man. I don't have a home. I said, that means homeless. See, that means homeless. It's the same code. It's a language that we tell ourselves, man. We program ourselves to live that out later. See, I see that now, but it seems like it's too late because these beliefs that they dictated that I've been homeless now chronically, and eventually. No idea how to heal what's wrong inside of me. I've had no idea, man. I've tried therapy one-on-one in groups and fucking rehab, and I never get anywhere with that. I don't get anywhere with like some folks do, not like my sisters did. And I could talk about what happened to me, and I probably did too much. I talked, and I have a story I told where I'm a victim, and I was always a victim, but I was a victim, but I couldn't get past this identity of being a victim. So then I keep repeating this victimhood, then I'm a victim again, and I drank all the fucking time. And sure, I did drugs. I like drugs. I did plenty of drugs. Did them a lot, all kinds. And I surrounded myself with people who used the way I did. So I was not growing really, and it's not growing really like spiritually or emotionally. They say you're not growing when you're drinking like that. And it started when I was in 5th grade, man. And I was not altering these core beliefs. They were staying the same inside of me. I could not see it, though. I couldn't see inside myself or understand that the energy matrix, this complex system, which operates like a machine, it was broken, man. Broken in pieces, man. Damaged. It was faulty. It was faulty wiring. And it was set on self-destruct, man. I was hopelessly attracted to danger. Danger, man. It always had been, man. I always have been. It's always been like that. It comes naturally for me, this danger, man. This dangerous life I live. Man, pulling up on the street, then lying on the curb like that, lying in the dirt, like lying in the mulch, man, under a tree, man. That's fucking dangerous. That's when I was 18, man. I'd already been locked up in my first psych ward, for a month, man. It was in Broomfield, Colorado, right down the street from where I was raped for years. I flew there from Montana while I was working for the summer. I just graduated from one of the most prestigious prep schools in the country, and I was the only kid who didn't go to college in my class, man. I'd been accepted into several good universities, a bunch, man. I was planning on going. I wasn't planning on I was planning on going. I wasn't planning on not, but I had this voice in my head, man. It told me to hit the road, man, and find my people instead. I've been seeing them for years. I've seen them for years since I was 15, man. Of course, folks thought I was crazy. My mom, she cried, and she couldn't stop me, though. Nobody can when I get in my mind to get up and go, man. I had a backpack, and I filled it with clothes, man. A sleeping bag, and only what I could carry. The rest I sold, or man, I gave it away. I've never been able to keep stuff anyway, man. Belongings, I've always told myself I'm not attached to things, and I own nearly nothing now. I say it's because I have no attachments to objects, but that's partly true, and it's partly correct, but it's also because I ain't got no home, man. It's because I ain't got a home, and I'm broken inside, and I don't think I deserve things. I don't think I deserve to own nice stuff or a house, and I'm only just able to go inside and see that now, man. No, since I was on the ground in Florida a few weeks ago in Lake Worth, a couple hundred yards from a gallery that used to show my work, man, used to celebrate me. And I'm laying on the ground, I'm in the mulch, I'm in the dirt, and I'm under a tree, and don't got a jacket because I left it on the boat in Key West. I thought it was a good idea to live on. What a fucking nightmare that was. Yep. Put my money down, and it lasted a week, and then the guy kicks me off. Of course he did. I knew it was a risk, man. It was a huge risk. Man, for weeks after that, I could identify that I've got core rotten beliefs, man. Rotten core beliefs. That it's rotten down inside. I mean, it's dictating my reality. It's stamped inside my inner self as a statement, man. I'm homeless, man. I'm homeless, man. I'm homeless. Always been there. Homeless, homeless, homeless. Since I was a kid. Since I was 5, I was saying it. Homeless. I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I don't belong. They don't want me here. They don't want me. I don't want to be here. This is not my home. This is not my home, man. This is not my home, man. Man, they're raping me. They're hitting me. They fucking hate me here. I don't belong, man. I don't belong. It's homeless. See, homeless. Programmed to homeless. All there is this belief that I need a man to take care of me, to complete me. Yeah, my mom says that. She always has. It's always been that way. She thinks I need a wealthy man, like I've had in the past, man. Did I get this from her, man? She got a wealthy girlfriend. Or is it because I service men from the time I can remember, man, sexually, man? I can't answer that. I've always looked for a man to fix me, take care of me, make me whole. But I got a bad picker, man. I got a bad one. I got a bad picker. It's got me into trouble. Last one put me in jail. Last one put me in jail in Miami. I lost everything. Of course I did, man. The police didn't. Police believed him. He said I was a vagrant. Said I came to Airbnb and wouldn't leave. I was a vagrant, and it's COVID, and was using it as an excuse, and I wouldn't leave. And yeah, jail was real. Police said if you didn't do it, then it won't matter. But the jail was real, and they wouldn't let me back on the property, and I lost my businesses, and it's erroneous, man. It's always been trouble, man. It's nearly killed me, man, over and over, man, over and over, nearly, near death, several times. I have no idea how much money I had that day I left Tucson for the road, like Jack, off to find my people. I said to those I knew in town, I said, I'm leaving, gotta go, hitting the road. I can't remember how long I thought it would take. I don't know what I thought. There was no real plan. I probably didn't have much money, man. I never did. Man. Looking back, I'm terrified for that kid, 18 years old, heading to the edge of Tucson to the highway with the notion that a magic thumb was going to lead him to a people who danced in his head around a pole, each with a ribbon in their hand, going round and round. They did this dance, man. It must have been a May Day celebration. It must have been May Day, but where? No idea. I don't know. They're laughing, man, and they look sexy, man. They look sexy, like they're having sex, and you can see that. And one of them looks like half a man, half a woman, and one looks like Pan, yeah. So they must be neo-pagans. I mean, I just can intuit that, but I trusted this voice that I had directing it had been directing my life since I can remember, man. Many of these people in this vision, man, they were naked, man. They're sexy, and they're having sex in pairs and in groups on the ground. They are on the ground, man, around that pole, around the maple. Yeah, I've never seen this before. And I'm very repressed sexually. I've been very repressed sexually my whole life, man, because I've been molested from the time I could remember. And if a man touches me, if he wants me, I gotta have sex with him. I can't say no, and I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. I mean, sex is fun, right? Isn't it? But it doesn't last long for me. I come in like 5 minutes, man. I just come fast. It's how it's always been. I just can't wait. Just get it over with. But my first memory is being in a field lying in a tractor tire, man, by a barn. It's a man boy, man. He led me there, man, on his shoulders. He lifted me over the fence, and he's not quite a man, but maybe he's 18. He could be 19. Is he a man? He's not a boy. He's got a body of a man, though. It felt good to be with him, man. He gave me attention that I craved, because I didn't get that from my father. No, we hated each other. Yeah, we did. He took his clothes off there. He lied down there in the middle of the massive tire. That big, round fucking tire, man. Big tire. And he asked me to lie on top of him. I don't know his name. Can't remember. I don't remember. I know he's dead. He died in a tractor accident. But I was a small child, and he liked me, and it felt good, this boy. He had the body of a man. I think he might have been 18. He could have been 19, and he had 3 brothers, but he chose to put me on his shoulders that day. He licked me over the fence, and he jumped over the barbed wire and told me to follow him over to the tire on the ground, the big tire laid in the middle, man. Wow, he's taking his clothes off just like that. I'd never seen a naked man boy before. I'd never seen a naked man boy before, and he acted like a kid, man. Older for sure, though. He acted like a kid, but he's a man, though. His dick is big, man. His thing is big, much bigger than mine. Of course it is, because I'm like 3 years old, man. Maybe I'm 4, but he's all man. His member is growing, man. It's big, and my stomach is doing flip-flops. Sure, I'm excited. It's only natural. Come on, man. What do you think? I'm with a man boy, and he's got a dick growing. He's standing at attention, man. He's so much bigger than mine. Of course it is. He's a man, man. This boy, you look like a man. His body, I like it. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. This first time is a fantasy that runs through my consciousness. But somehow this thing that I identify later as abuse, it was rape, man. Of course it was. It was rape. Damn it, I'm 3, I'm 4, at the oldest, man. This first time, I like the attention, and it's a fantasy I repeat in my mind that's probably sick. But the whole thing was, and it continued for a long time. Yep, he moved in with us in Denver. Yep, they moved him in. They moved him in eventually into our house where he was the babysitter I was dick sucking. and I wished it ended. I wish that someone had helped me, but no one did. And I figured they knew because he gave me hickeys on my neck, and all the kids tease me. The next day, the kids tease me, but where my mom at? How's she not know when a pedophile grooms a child, it feels good at first, but mixed with all the other abuse that came next, it compounded experience upon experience, the violence, the beatings in our house, the neglect. It was a raw deal I was handed, a bad game, a losing proposition, man. The sum of all the parts has ended up controlling my existence, and it has been torturing me, the memories and the thought that my parents knew all along what was happening to me. They must have known. I know he did. Fucking man, the reverend, he was doing this to me. I know he did. They deny it. He said, how dare you? How dare you say that I knew that my son was being molested, that I did this to you? Oh, right, George. Yeah, right, Reverend. Please. So much evidence to the contrary. So many things you did, so many things over the years, and we'll get into all that, but right now we're just talking about this, the sexual part. We'll catalog the rest, and you deny it, but how could they not know when he gave me hickeys on my neck and all the kids tease me the next day, and my mother knows what's happening with her child, and she left me too. With a man she knew was abusive. She drove away in her car with my sister. Getting a divorce, they said, okay, goodbye. There she goes, out the door with my sister. And she leaving me with him? With this motherfucker? This abusive man that abused her too? She says she's broken. She said he broke her, so what? So what, you're going to let him break me too into pieces? That I can't put back together ever. That I can't put back together now. I never knew how to put the pieces back together. Homeless. I'm homeless now. I'm homeless. I'm in a parking lot in Buffalo. It's 20 below zero. I'm in a sweatshirt. I don't have a coat. I don't have a jacket. How did I get here? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening? Homeless. Fall through the cracks in the sidewalk. Fall down, so far down deep. Fall down so far deep. Can't get up no more. Can't climb these. No staircase. There's no ladder. I'm down below the ground, down below the cement, down below the sidewalk. I fell through the cracks. Seriously, man. My siblings have asked me to never bring any of this up, but the situation I was put in, the circumstances, they were criminal, and they know it, and they just don't want to talk about it because they got kids, and kids need a grandpa. Everybody needs a grandpa, and you all knew I was living with the pedophile in 5th and 6th grade, man, when we moved to Absaroka, Montana, right below Yellowstone Park, that town, you know. You know I was sleeping with him night after night on his stomach, naked. I traveled with him throughout the state. When he graduated, yeah, he was 18 when I met him, picked me off the schoolyard. Yes, he did. That's what they do. Because I was a sad kid. I was a lonely child. I was dejected. I was rejected. They know what to look for, the pedophiles. The knowledge that everyone knew that I was a love child of a pedophile in 5th and 6th grade, that I was living with him. The entire town knows. It's a town of 1,000 people, man. This is Montana. Everybody knows everything about everybody. The church, my parents, the school, the teachers, administrators. Everybody knew. Of course they did. Everybody. Nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing. Ever. It's put me over the edge my whole life. Caused me to drink so young at 5th grade. Of course, he gave me beer. He gave me liquor. All of this shit did. The entire package, man. It's nearly killed me over and over. Surprised I'm living now. Now I realize that this is how people become homeless, man. Which is the real terror. A person's worst fear. Everybody's. Homelessness. And Mom, man, you always think that I just need to find a man because that worked for you. But the woman you found to provide for you, to supply the money that was always in short supply in our family, because on both sides, they took vows of poverty, ministers, both sides, grandparents, ministers, uncles, ministers, vows of poverty. We don't got it, can't afford it, no money for you, none, can't do it, nope, can't afford it, there's no money, can't afford it, too expensive. That's the language that we spoke in our house, always, in all our houses, all our family, both sides. It's just the thing that ministers, that's how they jive, man. And, you know, your girlfriend, Mom, she had lots of money, and so she supplied it for you, like what you didn't have. And when I moved to your house to go to prep school, you know, she didn't speak to me for all the years that I was in high school. Remember that? Just another place where I wasn't welcome, man. It wasn't right. It was just another situation where it was ingrained in me that I was not welcome, man. That I was not home. That this home was not for me. There's no place for me. That I didn't belong, man. And you blamed it on me. Said it was because I was angry, man. But I didn't treat you badly, or her. We didn't fight. I mean, I threw some parties when you were out of town. Of course, that's what kids do, man. Like, that's not the way it was. That things were bad. I was a good student. I went to one of the best prep schools in the country. I was angry, perhaps. I had been raped since I was fucking 3, and you left me with people that abused me in every fucking way, locked me in the basement, called me a piece of shit. We'll get into all that. We'll catalog it. Because I've been beaten and raped my whole life, but I didn't misbehave. I was a good student. Yeah, I drank. I always drank. I just don't remember that it was bad for any of us, but she didn't speak to me, but because I was an activist, perhaps. I was respected in the community, man. I started a nonprofit of my own. I spoke all over the state of Arizona. I was an eloquent speaker, and I was out at 16, and they wanted to talk to me. I spoke at universities, high schools throughout the state, while you two stayed in the closet, ashamed of your relationship, ashamed of yourselves. Not me. I'm not going to live like that. You told me I was choosing a very hard road for myself, but I was choosing a life of truth, not a lie. Oh, man. That's Mommy. She's going out the door, leaving with the sister I love so much. That happened soon after the dick sucking in the tire situation, man. So now we're going back, and the basement where I was forced to sleep with the oldest brother and the 3 other brothers, all of us doing the boy sex thing, them lined up, me sucking them all off. Yeah, I remember it all the time. It repeats like that. That's why I'm going back, because that's what it does. I can't stop thinking about it. They touching me all night long? Where's my mom, man? Did she know about this? Why did they put me down there? I didn't like it at all. I wanted to sleep safely in a bed by myself upstairs. Man, where's my mom at, man? Why am I down here doing this? Why are they making me do this? Gave me hickeys on my neck. All the kids tease me. I don't want to be with all of them in one bed, hands all over me all night long. So the two best things that they made the world make sense to me were soon gone. My mom and my sister, and she left me with a pair of child abusing people, man. These people are criminals. They really are. He moved the guy in, the one I've been sucking off in Nebraska. He moves him into the house now in Denver. Yeah, it's hard to swear. I've never been able to do it. It goes on and on in my mind. It rattles on. I carry through it. I go through it again. Man, she walked out on us, my oldest sister and I. It wasn't right. But she said I was too much to handle. So there it is. I was at fault. I was wrong. Inherently. I was bad. Obviously. And there's no home for me. I say it over and over at night for years to come. When they beat me, when he hits me with his fist, well, I call her a bitch. My stepmom, I do. I call her a bitch. She's horrible. And my sisters were abused. They both were in many ways. We'll get into all of that. We'll catalog it. But they did years of therapy, and they're fine. They're good. They're great. They're amazing. I'm the only one who was programmed to endlessly self-destruct. The only one who lit myself on fire. The only one with 5 DUIs and multiple suicide attempts, lockups. Yep, many. Not jail so much, or prison. Just lucky, because that could have been me. I could be locked away for years, man. I got arrested in 5 different states with DUIs. If I got them in one state, I'd be fucking fried, man. Many times, all over the damn country, I was arrested because I just can't stop moving, man, and drinking and driving always. So the bottom line is, I never had a home, only with men who were no good for me. The last one, man, yeah, he put me in jail, said I was a vagrant, called the police, false charge. Yeah, said I was a guest in the Airbnb, using COVID as an excuse to stay there. I know I said it before, but I can't square it either. I wasn't a vagrant. I had a lease. I paid my rent $1,000 a month, and I cooked all of his meals and his mother's. He told the police after 2.5 years together that I was a vagrant? Yeah, this is the type of man I put my trust in over and over. So I repeat it in my mind, make sure I don't do it again. It never ended well with men of his type, and I swore I loved them all. Of course I did. I loved them. I loved my boyfriend. I loved my fucking bad, horrible boyfriend. Ain't that the shit? But I knew. Looking back, I always knew the truth that they were bad men. Every one of them. This one would never kiss me, the Dominican. Said there was no logic in kissing, that it was unnecessary, no reason to kiss. Unnecessary. He was never going to do it. Never going to kiss me again. And I knew he was having guys over to eat his shit. Yeah, he was into that. And plunking and text messages about, ooh, I'm holding it for you, baby. I'm holding it. I don't know how much longer I can hold it. Yeah, I said it. The thing I knew. It's really horrible to say. It's true. It's bad. Hearing that, reading the text message, knowing he's having him over to eat his shit, man. But I stayed 2 years after that. So the joke's on this kid, man. The joke's on me, man. I deserved it. I knew and I stayed, man. It's a stuck in slow motion nightmare, man. And slow motion tragedy is, and I'm programmed for homelessness, man. Because after that, I didn't do well after Miami and the jail and losing my businesses and being called a vagrant and false charges. And I'd do it again to save my ass, I would. Right now I'd do it if I could find a man. I don't care if he's good or bad. I just need somebody. I need a place to live because I got one more week and then I'm out. Then I'm homeless again. And I'm here in Jersey City where I'm preparing for a return to the performance scene, man. MoonFire Tower, man, in New York City. Big show. I got a shot at a comeback of sorts, I guess. I'm producing my first show in New York, a cabaret, at a great club, the Rock Bar, man, in less than a week. And then we're going to workshop this script and book it into a theater and you know, lots of plans. I got to do something. I got to do something fast, man, because don't got much money and soon I'll be homeless again. And I got this computer to use right now. My friend loaned it to me. He's letting me stay here. He's such a nice guy. It's been a long while because I lost everything in Miami. I haven't had a computer. And man, I just remember life in the 90s, man. I just remember what it was like in the 90s when I was a hotshot producer. And I went everywhere in New York in limousines with a crew that was made up of huge names and rich people and influential men, like most powerful men in the world. Some of my people were. Oh man, I'm not gonna name drop because they ain't around now and they're not helping me and I'm on my own now and I have to get to the bottom of this bad programming inside of me. Got to get to the bottom. Got to write this script. Got to perform. I got to do some magic trick because I gotta heal this. I gotta fix it. I gotta be better because I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to be on the streets and all the stories not bad, man. There's lots of good stories, man. I took Joey Arias to Provincetown for the summer and I love Joey. He never left me. He's still there. A lot of people are gone. A lot of people are gone, but Joey's still there, and I love Joey. And man, I don't recommend for anyone to do what I did, young people. If this reaches you, don't follow in my footsteps. It's not safe. And if I could do it again, I would choose before being born. I'd refuse this life plan, man, because I know I came here for this reason to do this vision thing that talk about this legend, this story that I've written 10 times and destroyed, and now the 11th time it's coming through and I'm going to perform it because it's supposed to be a show, not a book. I thought it was a book, but it's a show, man. And whoever sent me here, spirit, I call it, higher power, man, whoever's been talking to me my whole childhood, who was it, Andy Warhol? Maybe? Was it Joey Arias? I don't know. But the voices have been here since I can remember. And the doctors don't think I'm schizophrenic, man. They don't think I'm schizophrenic, but they think I'm bipolar. And that's okay, because I learned how to control it. And I manage it. And I've had a problem with substances. Yeah, it's well known. But that's not the reason for the visions, for the life I've lived. Drugs or no drugs, it's all the same. The visions don't go away, and they still come true. I still see it, and then things come true. And sober or not, that's just the way life is for me. How the environment talks to me, objects too, they speak to me like, not like, hello, how you doing? I just know what I'm supposed to do with them. That's how I channeled sculptures from found objects I collected as an estate liquidator in Buffalo, man. I was a clean out guy for years. And then I turned international sculptor one day when I was told to make a sculpture for the first time. And all the objects I'd collected spoke to me. In a trance I was for days. Made my first sculpture, went into a gallery, a top gallery, and then the next and the next. We sold many all over the world. And yep, the objects I work with, they talked to me while I was in a trance, and I knew exactly what I was supposed to do with them. I was known for it. That was a fun time, man. Those are good stories, man. We traveled the world. We traveled all over America, coast to coast, shows, coast to coast. I sold a lot of art for $10,000 a piece, man. It's good stuff, man. Success I've had as an artist, and those are good stories. But as I got older, and sculpture career just came to an end, man. It just came to a natural end, man. It was over. I couldn't do it anymore. I knew it was over. And the last bad boyfriend in Miami, when he had me arrested, I lost my studio. I lost all my materials. I lost my sculptures, my paintings, my paints, and police destroyed my businesses, and I just lost it all. So it's gone. Well, for the record here, there's two things, and I did a lot of drugs after that. I did, man. After Miami, I did a lot of drugs, and I heard a voice as I was driving out of Miami and said, I want sex and drugs, and I found them both, man. I liberated myself from this sexual repression, and I had a lot of good sex, and I did drugs, okay? I did. And I recorded 3 albums in Philly with my crew, man, and I sold my car like a fucking idiot, man. I bought a ticket to Puerto Rico for no reason other than it was $80, man, and $80, man, and that's where I found the drugs in Puerto Rico, and I found a lot of sex, and I threw sex parties in Puerto Rico and New Orleans and Denver and where else? Philly, yeah. And I realized that I'd been so repressed my whole life, so I did some more drugs and I had more sex, and I rented a horrible hovel in fucking Puerto Rico because I'm programmed to believe that I don't deserve a home, and if I do get one for myself, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna barely have water. It's gonna have cement walls and dirt floor. Maybe it's not gonna be a good home because I don't allow myself to have good things. It's gonna be real shitty. It's gonna be a bad place, man. So yeah, drugs have always been something I've done off and on, and I quit alcohol, which is the one that caused the worst of the worst problems. But even in sobriety, which I've Also, off and on, I've done, yeah, I have for years. I pack up and I leave, the same as always, man, in the night for no reason at all. Totally sober, man. I leave good places, good jobs. I leave my family to drive cross country to complete uncertainty, man. I've done it over and over since 1997. Sober. Done it sober. Doesn't really matter if I'm sober or drunk. I've done it a lot drunk. I've done it sober too. I cannot track where I've lived, when, where, what years. It's impossible. I've been funded by endowments in Vermont. I've been funded by endowments and gotten grants, and I've had galleries, but never a home of my own without a boyfriend. Not a proper home on my own. Never. And I said I'd never have a boyfriend again after the Dominican Miami. I said I'd never again. He said I'd never sing again. He said MoonFire Tower was there, man. Does he know what he's fucking talking about? Well, don't fucking say that to me. Seriously. Catalog that shit. Take a note. The fuck do you think he's talking about? He don't kiss me? Yeah, this shit's over. He's having people come over to eat his poop. This shit's over. And I've been seeing this really nice man in Jersey City since I've been here, working on this show. He's moving, though. His jobs he's applied for around the country. Not sure where he's going, but maybe Palm Beach. And he's not staying here. And man, I'd climb in his suitcase if he'd let me, man. I'd go with him. I'd do another one. I don't know if it'd be good or bad. I like this man, but I'm begging. I beg to see his... I'd beg to be his boy, man. I beg to be his boy. I'd do anything right now to do it with him. Get out of this predicament, this jam, this life problem I have. It's called chronic homelessness now, man. It's documented now. It's called chronic homelessness, and maybe I'll qualify for a space in Vermont. Like, man, all these problems used to be solved by a rich boyfriend, but I promised I wouldn't look. I promised I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even think about solving this with a boyfriend. But this man, he hits me in the gut when I think about him. When we do the lovemaking thing, man, it's a dream, man. He's my type. I dream of him at night, man. I think of him in the daytime, too. I try not to bother him with poetry, but I do write it. With these feelings, he listens when we talk about this myth story thing. He's gentle and sweet, and I'm going to lose him, man. It's inevitable, and I cannot ask anything of anyone except for you, the audience. Someone out there must have the answer. Someone must know how to fix a weirdo like me. I used to think I was special, but that this was cool, man. Even last week I did. Most of last week, until it dawned on me that I have about a week left where I'm at. Then I'll be homeless again, and I start to freak out.